I am at work. I am rarely on my phone looking at posts and stuff. And so, in order for me to be a little bit more active in social media, then it would interfere with my training. I would have to like videotape, make sure it looks good, and I don't have the time, for it. I have to hire someone to capture that footage for me and to make it look pretty or in order to advertise on social media. And so, because I could do better on social media, I feel like that's interfering with my sponsor opportunities. But I know that that will change. I just have to really navigate my schedule a little bit better. I feel when I go to Japan, I'll have an opportunity to reset how far I live from work. That's going to play a huge role in my training, my sleep, and the time I have available to advertise a little bit more of what I do and what I represent. So it'll change here shortly.
Yeah, because sponsorship does help because the cost of like your expense to come here to the show, the cost of your posing suits, the cost of your coach because you got to pay your coach, hair, makeup, everything. For like I say this for the men, all they got to do is wear banana hammock and a pair of board shorts. And y'all ladies, you have to look presentable. You have to like you say you don't want to do figure because you don't want to do high heels. I understand that. One of my jobs, I used to work a strip club, and high heels was a thing. That's what they needed. But you still have to make yourself that level of femininity and also that balance of muscle. That's why I say like it's supposed to muscle of masculinity. You have to find that balance. And people are kind of like lurid because they're picking divisions that are more popular, like as I call them, the teenage divisions as well as the bikini. But you women in physique and women's bodybuilding and figure and fitness, y'all deserve just as much recognition, just so much respect. You this could help y'all in the long run. But people are always going to make these snide remarks like, well, yeah, she's trying to be manly, yeah, yeah, and yada, yada, yada. But like I say, is if you don't have that same passion and determination as you do, why talk about somebody else?
Um, so I guess one when it comes to like comments, I don't experience that a lot. And there I do experience it. I just don't experience it a lot. And really, I think maybe about 5, 7 years ago, I would have been a little bit more hurt because um, this is who I am. If anyone was interested in my life and they wanted to research whatever I do have on the internet, social media, you can see my progression. I'll even post. Even it's not too long ago. I posted a picture of me running track, starting on the starting blocks. 14 years old. You can see the muscles in my arms. Like I've always been lean. I've always been athletic, and people have been teasing me for looking masculine my entire life. It doesn't hurt my feelings because I don't agree with them. I feel like if people are going to go out of their way to criticize someone else, they have their own internal issues that they have to work towards. I'm just going to pray for them. I'm not going to allow them to disrupt my peace. I like the way that I look. I've always liked the way that I look. I'm not going to allow someone else and their opinions to bring me down because they have to face what they're facing. So I don't get a lot of criticism. I do get it. It's not often, and I just feel like you know that's what comes with the sport. There are some women that have a little bit more of a masculine look in my category, and to be honest, like, and I didn't feel this way about 5, 7 years ago, but I feel this way now. I feel like some of the athletes, when you're in it, you're in it, and when you aren't happy with how hard you worked and the results that you're getting, you might dabble into some substances that will enhance your look, and maybe you evolve into a more masculine version of yourself without even noticing it, and maybe you don't care. That's their choice. Like they're happy with themselves. They're happy with themselves. I'm not going to talk about them, make fun of them. I look the way that I want to look, and there's always going to be a category for me, whether I evolve or go down. So um, I think the important thing is being happy with yourself, liking what you see in the mirror. And if you don't like it, you take control over what you dislike so that you're in a position to like it, and don't allow outside influences to affect your peace. And so that's just the model I live by. And it's been keeping me happy and peaceful moving forward. And I hope others can find that in themselves. So.
Yeah, that's good. You should live for you. And like I said, I think you ladies are beautiful. This picture right here, I just pulled it up here. You know, this is one here. This is right after Arizona. Wow. I mean, it's to me, it's beautiful. I love all type of women. You know, growing up from the South, we had women with full figure, but I've been a fan of women's bodybuilding for quite a long time. And I respect y'all ladies, and also I remember when I first was it was this chat room. I first got into it, and this guy told me, say, "Hey kid, you like women's bodybuilding?" I said, "Yeah, I like it. I'm a fan of it." I said, "Well, there's an old smoke saying." I said, "What's that?" I said, "When your ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard." So that's a no different story. But yeah, you have to be committed and passionate about this sport. You have to understand the sacrifice you have to make, and the time you have to put into it, and also dieting and training. And I know you're competing tomorrow. What's that thing that you've been desiring since you're on prep? What's that thing that's calling you, Evon? Share with us. Hmm?
Like a craving, like something I want to eat when my prep is over. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Um, well, I have this every prep, and I'll tell myself it gets so wild that I'll find myself on TikTok looking at food, just watching people make recipes that I will never make and I'll probably never eat. But knowing that I can is the what I desire. I'll say I'm not a big pizza fan. I've never been a big pizza fan. I'm not really big on burgers and French fries. I'll eat them, but I would never just decide that I crave it. I grew up in San Diego. I'm a very big fan of tacos. I typically incorporate the soft street tacos. I make them myself on the weekend, so it's not something that I've been without. Leading up to the show, I've been without, especially closing in. But it's not so like neglected in my diet to the point where I can't wait to have it. If I'm being honest, I probably won't. But knowing that I can have like a piece of a brownie like in the morning with my black coffee, knowing I can have it, it's the freedom I'm looking forward to. I probably won't eat it because I don't like the way it will make my stomach feel. But knowing I can if I wanted to, that's what I'm looking forward to, is that freedom. Something about like even now, like I only can have like the rest of what's in this bottle for the rest of the night before I cut my water off. And all of a sudden, I'm suddenly thirsty. So never thirsty. I'm always doing so. I always do so poorly with my water intake. It's always such a chore to drink my water. But when you tell me I can't have it, then suddenly I become thirsty. And so I just think being deprived of certain nutrients and foods make you crave it. But I can't honestly say that there's something that I really can't wait to have after the show. It's just either I can incorporate it in, or I think it's just more of the freedom. In the moment that you give it to me, I won't want it. So.
Yeah. Everybody has a different taste of what they like or what they want. I mean, like I said, it's about who you are and and your feelings. And like I said, it's tough. Like people don't understand when y'all competitors are up there on stage, y'all tired, you're dehydrated, y'all are hangry. You're gonna cut back on your water. I mean, I like to drink water, but sometimes water is boring. I like a little something with a little sweet to it. I mean, I understand, but you know what? This is a lot that people need to understand the sacrifices again and the time you put into this sport. And I know you're getting ready, you got this show coming up, and this could possibly get you to your Olympic qualification. And I do truly wish you the best of luck on that. I mean, like I said, there's some ladies who represent. I think one lady I recognize who's competing. She competed also with you. That's Jessica Campbell. She competed with
Yeah.
you back in
Mhm.
2022. Yeah. And there was some ladies on the list that it dropped off, particularly. I think I saw female bodybuilding channel predicted that you, Jessica, and another lady are possibly going to be the contenders for the title. But like I said, this is like anything. No one ever really knows, especially when you get into a fight. And you never know who's going to really win. Sometimes it's not easy. Like you got a fight coming up in a couple of months: Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Hey, Mike Tyson may be 67 years old, but he's going to knock that boy's head off. I'm going to be honest with you. But you as being an athlete, a woman, a service person in the military, what would you tell somebody who wants to get into sport? What would advice you would give them if they think about getting into bodybuilding?
It's a good question, and I think I thought about this in a perspective of my own and a perspective of someone else. I want to make sure that if you're going to get into the sport, that you're not in love with the result, that you actually can learn to love the process. I think that's the biggest thing with it. It's not fun getting up early in the morning to train, but I know I love the way that I feel when I'm actively sweating. I love the way that I feel after I train. I love how responsible I feel knowing that I burn calories before consuming food. And I love the respect that I get because people know that I get up early in order to commit to training. I like the way that I feel when I eat foods. I think the food tastes amazing. Like eating all fish, I've been eating all fish for the last 3.5 or so months, but I like the way that I season it, and I'm not tired of it. And so I think that I cook my own food. If you get tired of your food, figure out a different way to season it. Grill your chicken a certain way, marinate it a certain way, but you have to love the working out portion. You don't have to love every aspect of it, but maybe you can sandwich something you love, something you dislike, and something you love to get through it. Make sure your food tastes good, that you don't mind eating it. That way you don't have to have competing values when it comes to something you prepare and something you can purchase when it's convenient. When you like your food, you like the way it tastes, it's easier to stick with it. And then just enjoy the weekly progress that you do make. Every week you're going to see a little bit of a change, whether the weight goes down or your body changes, and that will give you enough motivation to carry forward. And before you know it, 10 weeks goes by, and then your muscles are showing on your arms and your abs are showing and your body's developing because you're in love with the process. But so many people just love the respect that you get from winning a show on stage, and they think they want to commit to a bodybuilding and show. And when you overwhelm them with a meal plan and training regimen and all these things you have to incorporate, they get overwhelmed and they get stressed out, or they go through with it and they become very depressed and all these other directions that you go. You have to love the process. And so really it's going to start with changing some behaviors that you may have that you have to get rid of in order to fully commit to it. But once you love the process, I don't see anyone stopping the competition lifestyle. Anytime, whether you compete once and never again, you will like forever incorporate the way some of the measures bodybuilders do when it comes to training, eating clean, because you like the way it makes you feel. So I think that's the most important factor. Loving the process, loving training, loving some aspect of training, loving clean foods, how it makes you feel, being in tune with your body. Those are important factors. And it's not just because you don't like all the food doesn't mean that you won't learn to love the food, doesn't mean that you can't season it a certain way to love it. I think those are important things to consider first, opposed to just this very overwhelming regimen to look your best for the stage, and then after the stage is over, after your competition is over, you go back to your old ways, and then you gain all your weight back, and then you become like lost. It's like no, you gotta like love the process, and so figuring that out in every stage, like continue to commit to shows and figure out ways that you can not dread eating your food, not dread training. There's going to be times where you're very depleted and weak, and that's normal. But for the most part, if you are weeks out for your show, you should not dread training. You should not dread eating your food. And if you do, you won't last very long. So I think that mastering that, figuring that out for each athlete is the most important part. And anyone can do it. Anyone can do this. A category for everyone. So truly believe that. And I think that if people take the time to invest in what they like and what will work for them, um, they'll be very happy with themselves. Like it's not, there are so many ways that you can make foods that you love in a healthier way than you're used to eating it. And just taking the time to invest and research those methods is important. So,
Yeah, because it is a process, and you love it. Also, you trust it. You also have to understand it. When you then you can fully trust and love the process, because this is a sport where it is mentally, physically, financially, emotionally draining. I mean, there's so much to it, and like I said, it does help you change your lifestyle because, like doing this content, talk to you ladies. At one point, I was almost 500 pounds, and then talk to you ladies, learn some stuff. I made some decisions to change because for a long time I was taking care of my mom. She was sick. She passed away. I just have me to take care of now. And talking with you ladies, I get education. Y'all commit and passion. I couldn't do what y'all do. I know I have some habits I can't get away. I love sweets, but I really get a knowledge and understanding when I do conversations and interview with you ladies. People need to know that because and like I said, this is a lovely lady right here, folks. She has a lovely smile. She's a beautiful woman. Like my other guy would like to say. He says, I often he says, wait a minute, he's popping up. He usually takes it a little slow. He says, sometimes what things that make you stranger can make you stronger. And I'm not gonna hold you much too longer, Evon. I want to tell you, you are beautiful. I'm so sorry. I can't help it. He's a part of me. I can't let him guide me. But we're not gonna hold us too much longer. Like I said, she just got finished with checking. She had to eat. She got to do tanning. She got a big show coming up, folks. And like I said again, if you want to watch the show, you can go to my YouTube channel. You can find the video for the Legion Sports Festival. You can find the link. It's they're gonna have the live stream. It is they do it a packet. It's like $30.99 for both days, so you can catch the Masters and the Open class. Because I think the Open's today, and the Masters is tomorrow. My man Big Keith is doing both. And like I said, this is why I do this because people need to educate themselves on what y'all men and women do in this sport. You need to understand what it takes because and support does help. Like I know guys out there, like I said, she's a beautiful lady, she's an intelligent lady, she serves our country. But guys, I don't want this guy like, hey Vaughn, you're cute because you know what? If you're my sergeant, my master sergeant, well, you want no, 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 stop that. Stop that, guys. Stop that. We say, Sergeant Pennington, we are interested in you. We like your story, your passion. We respect your commitment to our country as a service person. If you will be interested in being a ambassador for our product, if it's something that works with you, we'll set up a contract, take care of you. We also will respect your time as an Air Force, enlisted person. We will let you know what we want from you, and you let you know what we want from us. And we want to see you grow as an athlete, nothing more than that. So, would you be interested in becoming a brand ambassador for our company?
Yes, if my schedule allows it, I certainly will support. I think that
Well, yeah,
this.
well, we'll work with your schedule, ma'am, because we respect your service as in our military. But we will work with it. We will want to see you grow as an athlete, and we like you, and we respect your passion. We have here. This is out from a man, Diverse Adams. Shout out to him. He's come through, and he says, "Good evening, brother. Usually, I appreciate you coming through." And like I said, we're not gonna hold her too much longer because, like I said, she's got to get ready. She got to get some rest. She got to do that. Maybe getting that last bit of water in before she goes get ready for the show. This is a question I would ask anybody. What would you want out of bodybuilding for yourself as a whole?
You said after bodybuilding, what would I want?
Well, just as a whole bodybuilding. Now, after whichever, what would you want out of bodybuilding as a whole after? Yeah.
Um, so I've, if I'm thinking of it correctly, for as a whole for bodybuilding, I'm in it in the season that I'm in it. I'm going to compete the years that I feel that I'm the most competitive during my peak. But following bodybuilding, I would definitely like to find a way to give back, whether it's in the form of teaching, whether it's in the form of producing something, so that the challenges that I went through, is not repeated in the next contender and next generation of athletes. And so I definitely want to continue to give as it allows, and the most genuine and the best way that I can give. And so that's going to be giving my time, knowledge, expertise, however I can give back. So that way I'm still in it. I'm still contributing. I'm still making a difference. I don't have to get so stuck in what used to be in my past. I can truly be happy with my past and move forward and help the next generation. So that's just kind of how I see it. So, I can't hear you.
Yeah, a little
Oh, there.
problem. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that would be good because you know what? This would help a lot of people who might not understand what it takes to compete in sport. The time you got to put in, the money you got to put into it. Just I would say whatever can help along the way to educate people, to understand what it takes. Like I said, I got people telling me, say, George, people can't do what I do. You know, see, some people can't go out on the stage and compete. Some people just like to work out, and sometimes it takes that, like yourself, if you fell into it, you have to have a passion for it, and that passion can guide you into your future. It helps with your lifestyle, and you understand sacrificing the time you put into it. You gotta respect it. But you know what? I wish one thing I say this about, especially for y'all Ivy pros and just any competitor. I wish there was more incentive for y'all. I mean, like you're in the military, you get benefits and incentives. I wish there was stuff like like the prize money I saw for the show. It's not much. I mean, the cost you got to come here from all the way from Florida to all the way to here. I mean, why did you do the Daytona show?
What show?
It's the show Daytona.
I don't think they have. Oh, that's the same weekend.
Yeah, yeah, that could have saved you time.
It was. I have not done well at Florida shows. I think that we all have to find our region. The typically my experience with Florida shows, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, it almost does not. They've always pick the leanest athlete. It doesn't matter your shape. It doesn't matter, the size. You might be an athlete that should be going up to bodybuilding. You might be an athlete that should really be in a smaller category. But if you're the leanest on stage, they pick you. So that has been my experience every time I watch a Florida show or do a Florida show. So, and I don't always understand why the winner is the winner. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just do a show in a different area, and then maybe I'm looked at a little bit more. To what I can present. So I did well here a couple years ago. It's definitely a different prep, so I'm gonna do the best I can tomorrow. I thought that I would do well in Chicago, but they picked them a lot fuller than I was expecting, as well too. So I guess you just have to kind of pick your regions that you do. I do better on the West Coast from my experience than I do on the East side, and so just kind of pick your shows and go. But yeah,